You think they're gonna respect you? Nah, that's weak sauce, man. Too soft for you. You want them scared stiff, right? Step into a room and boom, their breaths just stop. No chit-chat, no fake smiles, forced handshakes, just dead silence. Hitting them hard. Feel that quiet choke 'em out yet? Words? Cheap as hell. Action's got some noise, sure, but silence? That's the real scream, fam, a vibe that sticks in their heads long after you bounce. People? Predictable as hell, always yapping, trying to flex like they're big shots. Hilarious, huh? More they talk, more they spill how bad they crave a pat on the back. Clueless that everyone sees it, but you're switching the game. Stand there, mute as a ghost, face blank, cold, empty, nada. Let 'em sweat guessing what's up with you. Can you own that silence for real? Try it. Make that silence your power move. Watch 'em squirm. You're here 'cause you think I've got the magic fix, huh? You want me to spill the tea on snagging respect? Fear, that raw power that makes folks take you serious, right? Bet you're thinking more words, slick tricks, some mind games will do it. Nah. You're off dead wrong, fam. The real juice, it's already in you for real. Check this. Your whole life they've fed you bullshit. Talk more, explain yourself, beg for respect like that's the move. But tell me, man, how's that been working out? You've been yapping, justifying, playing their lame game. Where's it landed you? Nowhere. Zip. Nada. Why? 'Cause words are for suckers, the desperate ones clawing for a nod. You don't need their damn approval. What you need is silence. Cold, brutal, no mercy silence. Ever been in a spot where nobody talks but the air's thick, stomachs twisting, tension screaming? That's your vibe now. Can you build that, huh? That's the power you're chasing. Not words, not flexing, just you being there, heavy as hell. Stop talking. Start owning that quiet. Make 'em feel you without saying shit. You roll in, bam. Air turns heavy. Room goes dead. No words, no expressions, just silence crushing. And you? Not a sound. Donald Trump gets this. Yeah, he's loud as hell on social media, but when it counts, he knows when to shut up and let the other guy crash and burn. Ever seen him in a debate? He won't always bite back. Sometimes he just stands there, arms crossed, smirking, watching his opponent ramble and trip over their own words. That's control. That's power. He doesn't need to yell to dominate. His silence does the work for him. Let's keep it real. People don't give a damn about you, for real. Sure, they'll flash fake smiles, slap your hand, act like you're the man, but turn around and poof, you're ghosted. That's the raw truth, man, and that's your gold mine. Stop giving a shit about them, stop needing their pats on the back, and bam, you're something they can't touch, something they fear. You've been dancing to their beat, squeezing into a rigged game that ain't built for you. Played nice, followed the script, thinking good vibes will get you what's yours, right? Nah. World don't roll like that. It don't care about deserve, it's about who's bold enough to snatch what they want, no permission needed. Can you flip that switch? Quit playing their rules and start taking what's yours with 0 words. Make 'em shake in that silence. That's where silence kicks in, fam. Stop blabbing, stop explaining yourself, quit jumping at every little thing they pull. You see it, man. They're shook by silence, terrified of what they can't figure out. The less you hand them, the more they freak. Mike Pence mastered this. When Trump was loud, unpredictable, always commanding attention, Pence was the opposite. Calm, collected, the guy who didn't react under pressure. During the January 6th chaos, people demanded he speak, to take sides, to fight back. But what did he do? He let the silence weigh heavy, choosing to stay composed while the world lost its mind. And guess what? That silence spoke louder than any speech ever could. Think about it, huh? How many times you ran your mouth and kicked yourself after? How often you tried justifying your moves, only to see it didn't shift jack? Every word's just ammo they twist, flipping your own voice to stab you. But stay quiet, let that hush do the heavy lifting, and bam, you yank their power right out. They're left with zilch, nada. Yo, you're probably thinking, if I don't speak up, how they gonna know me? Ha ha ha, how they gonna respect me? That's the trap, fam. They want you falling for that bullshit. They push you to believe you gotta yell, scrap for their eyes on you. Nah, truth is, the quieter you roll, the louder you hit. Ever clock someone strolling into a room and bam, owning it, no words? That ain't luck, man. That's control, pure power. It's how they strut, how they eye everyone like they run shit. Silence ain't weakness, it's a knockout punch to their pride. By staying mute, you're screaming to the world, I don't owe you jack, your thoughts, trash. Their opinions, their judgy vibes, don't mean squat to you. That's what spooks them, for real. They need you to care, to play their game, to bite back and prop up their weak-ass existence. Can you ditch that noise next time? Walk in, say nada, watch them unravel, 'cause you won't dance their dance. Yo, when you shut that door, standing there, stone cold, blank-faced, silent, they start tripping, questioning it all. That's your win, fam. Truth is, most folks are soft, shaky, terrified, always fishing for a thumbs up from someone. They yap 'cause silence freaks them out. They flip 'cause stillness ain't their game. But you're breaking that mold, man. You're the one dropping statements without a word, holding steady in the chaos. No blink, no flinch. Let them ramble, let them run their mouths, trying to poke you, fish for a spark. You giving them that? Nah, not a chance. You won't stoop to their mess. You stay cool, locked down, quiet as hell. And they'll hate it, fam. They'll despise you 'cause you're untouchable. Can't steer you, can't guess you, can't crack your head open. How's that feel, huh? Next time they push, just stand there, mute. Watch them crumble, 'cause you're a wall they can't climb. Yo, that's the vibe you're chasing, fam. Silence ain't just no noise. It's a damn weapon, a heavy hitter. Master that shit and they can't touch you, man. They'll dread you rolling in, not 'cause you talk or flex, but 'cause you don't. What you hold back, that's the kicker. They're spooked by the mystery, what's brewing in your head. And the dope part? They'll cook up their own horrors, their own freakouts. You ever peep how folks yap more when they're shook, when they're sweating? That's 'cause they can't deal with the hush, can't sit with the quiet. The longer you zip it, the more they fall apart, spilling their weak spots like fools. Can you crank that silence up, huh? Next time they're twitching, just chill, say nada. Watch them melt down, 'cause your quiet's louder than their noise ever will be. Yo, that's when you hit 'em, fam. Not with words, not with moves, but just by being there. You'll turn into that dude who don't need fists or yells to drop weight. You roll in, and they feel you before they even clock you. When you bounce, oh, they'll buzz about you for days, man. Not 'cause you spoke, because you didn't. This ain't no cakewalk, though. Takes guts, takes grit. You'll itch to snap back, to yap, to shield yourself. Nah, fight that. You gotta outmuscle them. Outmuscle your own vibes. Stay chill, stay locked, stay mute. Every time you do, you're stacking power, fam. Every time you dodge their bait, you're shrinking them down. Can you hold that line, huh? Next time you're burning to react, freeze. Let that silence flex harder than any comeback. Watch 'em fade while you rise. Yo, here's the real deal, fam. The harder they push, the more they unravel. They'll throw it all at you, insults, threats, even fists, to crack you. But you, untouchable, man, above their mess. You don't gotta prove shit to nobody. Don't need to explain why you're here. Your silence, that's the mic drop. They'll buckle, snap under their own shaky weight, and when they do, bam, you've won. Not 'cause you swung back or argued, no, but 'cause you stayed mute, locked in control. That's what freaks them out most. Can you ride that storm, huh? Keep quiet next push. Watch 'em fold. Yo, don't sleep on silence thinking it's weak. No. That's where folks mess up. They figure if you ain't yelling, arguing, or swinging, you toast. Wrong, fam. Silence ain't giving up. It's a slick move, a play. You let the world's noise blow by while you stand firm, unshook, like a mountain in a damn hurricane. You're not ducking the fight. You're picking a weapon that hits harder than fists or trash talk. Silence cuts deep, man. Sticks around longer than any diss. That's your juice right there. Making them doubt themselves, feeling tiny against your chill grit. Can you rock that vibe? Stay mute next storm. Watch them shrink. Yo, here's the deal. They won't get it till it's too late, fam. Silence sparks fear 'cause folks freak over what they can't call or tame. Quit reacting, stop playing their games and watch them lose it. Panic, spiral, done. Humans crave your vibes, your feedback, some hint of what's up so they can chill in their weak-ass bubbles. But you stay icy, uncrackable. They're drowning in their own shaky mess, paranoia eating them alive. They'll stress. What's he thinking? What's he planning? The longer you keep him guessing, the more it chews him up. Can you stonewall him next time, huh? Let that quiet cook him. Yo, silence is a mirror, fam. It flips their fears, their weak spots right back at them. That's the slick beauty, man. You don't gotta yap or swing, just stand there still, hush, and let them rip themselves apart from the inside. Watch them fray bit by bit. That's your W. You ain't slugging it out in their ring. You're making them box their own shadows. And trust me, they're toast in that fight. Elon Musk gets this better than anyone. When Tesla stock crashes, when SpaceX gets dragged, when people clown him online, does he jump into every debate? Nah, he lets the silence do the talking. No panic, no long-winded explanations, just a single tweet, sometimes just an emoji. Boom. That's it. And what happens? People lose their damn minds, scrambling to figure out what's in his head. That's how you play the game. That's how you control the room, without even being in it. Check it. The loudest dude in the room, he ain't the king. The one blabbing, flexing, making noise. Weakest link, fam. Trying to hype himself up, selling it to everyone that he's hot shit. But the quiet one, the one who don't need to flash, that's the real boss holding power. Yo, quit yapping, quit biting their bait, ditch their dumb game, fam. Stand firm, hush up, let your silence flex for you, turn into the shit they dread most. When they clock they can't crack you, can't steer you, can't peek inside your head, they'll freak, all without you dropping a word. Can you lock that in, huh? Go mute next round, watch 'em shake,